Hi, my name is Mike Mix. I'm the chair of the trustee committee here at the church. Been a member for about 5 years. I was also asked to head up a subcommittee to secure a safer, more convenient, more secure access into the sanctuary. And I think, first of all, you probably heard a lot of discussion last summer and into the fall, and we had the renderings that were up in the vestibule of the church. I want to thank everybody for their prayers, for their consideration, for their ideas, for the comments we got, and just for the dialogue that we had, and it was so good to be able to just communicate with each other on what we thought was the most important, or the features that we needed to gain access specifically to the sanctuary. And I wanted to address some of the ideas that we received, involved coming in through the basement and across to the elevator, or even maybe excavating the west side of the church to get down into through the foundation of the church, and that way. We had people that recommended that maybe we just patch or even replace the existing ramp that comes into the church. And, we went one by one as a subcommittee and addressed those ideas that we thought we could incorporate, and those ideas that just for engineering point of view or technical point of view became so expensive that we went a different direction. We had folks that suggested maybe we put a lift, an outdoor lift, or an elevator. It's not really an elevator, it would be just a single story lift. And the experience with those and the ongoing maintenance cost, and even having to build a structure around such a lift, it changed the whole look of the church and the architectural features that we have on the church. So we went through one by one and developed a list based on an artist rendering. Remember, we don't have any engineering work for this improvement. And in a minute, I'm going to ask Christine to go through the series of things that we want to incorporate into improving access to our church. One of the things that I found, before we do that, I just wanted to comment. We've had a lot of discussion about the American Disabilities Act and the word ramp. And ramp brings up a connotation of something that looks like an add-on. What we've discovered in our research is that actually, if we start at the street and come up to the top step of the entrance into the church, it's actually called an inclined sidewalk. We're actually going to put a sidewalk up to the front door of the church. And that made a big difference, at least in my mind, that we're not talking about ramps. And we've seen those around other places, but we're actually talking about a sidewalk. We're going to maintain the central stairway into the church, and now all of the other features, I'll ask Christine to go through those. Again, thanks for your prayers and your ideas, and we wanted to communicate that to you in the best way possible to reach the biggest audience or the biggest part of the congregation. So we're using this a video. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Christine Varnell, and as Mike said, I'm going to go over the list of details that we went through of the things we want to include in the final bid for making sure that our front entrance is accessible to all and that all are welcome in our church. So the first thing on the list, as he brought up, is the inclined sidewalk, which will come up to the church along with maintaining the stairs. The stairs will have a handrail, but the inclined sidewalk will not need one because the grade will be so low that it will be very easy to traverse without a handrail. With the inclined sidewalk, there will be turn radiuses at multiple points, and those will be long enough and wide enough to be able to allow for at least 10 feet of turn space, which will allow for special events and ease of transport with different items, and also space for park benches in case anyone feels the need to rest on the way up. We will make sure that the inclined sidewalk and stairs are very well lit, so even if it's nighttime, there should be no issue with anyone being able to come into our church and see and feel safe and welcome as they come into the church. When people arrive to the top of the church, they'll see that the landing is extended and larger and bigger, so that way there's that ease of access to our church. With this update, we will need to update the doors to the church. Now, these doors will make sure that they reflect the history and the beauty of our church, while also being able to make sure that anyone can get into our church. These doors will be wider to allow for ease of access for people to get in, whether they're in a wheelchair, taking a walker up, a mom with a stroller, or just walking in with your whole family and feeling like you can all come in together. There also will be the ability for side windows for people to be able to see out, to make sure if anybody needs help coming in that we can provide that service. Again, we want people to feel welcome in our church. The way these doors will look will still fit the look of our current church, the historical nature of our church, and make everyone feel welcome. Because we'll be updating the front of the church, we also plan on updating landscaping. With these updates, we know that some materials will be removed, and our plan is to reuse as many materials as possible to be both cost effective as well as to maintain the history and beauty of our church. The last part of what will be happening as the front of the church gets updated is the side ramp next to the office. That will be removed because now we will have the ability for anyone to come into our church through our front doors instead of feeling like they have to come to the side through the office.
After hearing the ideas of Christine has discussed, first of all, the next time you come into the church, take a look at the existing stairways, the existing ramp. They're on their last days. You can see the corrosion, you can see the cracking in the concrete, you can see the fact that we're going to have to do something. And it's just time to improve the whole face of the church and access to the church. So what's our timeline? We need next to get an engineer to actually do construction documents that actually incorporate all of the ideas into one design construction document so that we can actually get a very good calculation of cost. We're somewhere in the $125,000 to $150,000 range for this improvement. We already have about $50,000 earmarked towards the project. So that's what we think the cost will be. But we need to get an engineering company to actually give us some documents. And we need that for two reasons. One, we need to get a permit from the city. They've been identified and notified as to what our ideas are. And we also need to get a construction company's estimate of the cost. For timing, we want to do the construction in a short period of time because we don't want to impact the church any more than is necessary. So we want to complete this whole project in a 6-week period. And we want to do it this summer. So we're looking at May, June timeframe to be ready to start construction. So again, trying to make sure I covered everything that I had in my notes. I just want everyone to keep praying as to the direction that we would like to go. We've got excellent feedback from everyone. We've got great ideas. We've incorporated all of them that were feasible. And we're working under the direction of the administrative council, so we're really getting direction from them. And we have the money available for the engineering documents. And we've already had people identified an interest in supporting this with their finances as well as their prayer. And you know, we would welcome any contribution that you would make. Again, thank you on behalf of the subcommittee. We'll keep you informed, and we will be in touch at a later date. Thanks again.